Good morning, my dear students. In the previous lecture, we have seen about De Morgan laws, and in continuation to the previous lecture, in this lecture, we will see something about canonical forms, which are mainly useful for the minimization of the given logical expression and implementing that logical expression with logic gates. So the main objective of this lecture is to understand the different types of canonical forms. There are two different types of canonical forms. Sum of products and product of sums expressions, SOP and POS expressions from the truth table, and writing the SOP and POS forms with the help of truth table, and also implementing the logic gates for the given expression. Implementing with logic gates for the given expression. So there are two different types of standard forms of Boolean expression. One is sum of products form, and second one is product of sums form. So in the name itself, you can able to understand sum of products. That means you will be having different product terms, and you are summing those products. That you can call it as sum of product terms. And similarly, the second one, that is product of sums terms. In that you are having some terms called sum terms, sum terms, and you are producting those sum terms, which you can call it as product of sums. Now first one, we will see sum of products form. We already know that a product of two or more variables or their complements is end function of those variables. For example, if I am considering, let us say, AB is one called product term. AB is a product term. Similarly, A bar B is also a product term. Similarly, A B bar is also a product term. And similarly, A bar B bar. All these are called the product terms. And these product terms are mainly implemented with the help of AND gates. These product terms are mainly implemented with the help of AND gates. And the next one, a sum in Boolean algebra is the same as OR function. Similarly, sum uh, sum is nothing but OR function. That means, for example, we are having the expression called AB plus CD. So that means some function between the two terms AB and CD. This is first term and this is second term. You are doing the ORing of these two functions, AB and CD. That is the meaning of a sum in Boolean algebra is the same as OR function. So therefore, sum of products expression is two or more AND functions ORed together. So like I said, you can consider the simple example, AB plus CD plus EF. If you consider this simple example, so it is a simple example of SOP form, sum of products form. Why? Because this is the first product AB, and this is the second product CD, and this is the third product EF. You are having different product terms, and you are doing sum or ORed together. So all these product terms, all these AND functions are ORed together. That is the meaning of sum of products. Therefore, sum of products expression is nothing but it is having two or more AND functions which are ORed together. Two or more AND functions which are ORed together. That is the meaning of sum of products form. So these products are called as minterms. These products are called as minterms. So each minterm contains all the variables within the system. Each minterm contains all the variables within the system. For example, if I am considering a two variable function, let us say f of a comma b. I can say a two variable function f of a comma c, which I am defining it as a bar b bar plus a plus b bar a. So let us say this is the function f of a comma b is equal to a bar b bar plus a plus AB bar. If you consider, this is a valid min term because it has all the possible variables, literals I can say. So A bar is one literal and B bar is also another literal, and the third term, that is AB bar, is also a min term because it contains all the variables. Whereas if you observe this second term A, it only consists of A variable. It is not having any B variable. It is not having any B variable. That's why this A is not called as min term. A is not called as min term. So how you are defining the min term? Each min term should contain all the variables pertaining to that particular function. Each min term should contain all the variables pertaining to that particular function. By taking a simple example, f of a comma b is equal to a bar b bar plus a b bar, in that a bar b bar is one min term and a b bar is also another min term, because in those two product terms we are having all the possible variables. Whereas if you consider the second term, that is a, in this the variable missing is b. That's why this a term you cannot call it as min term. Okay. So if you consider a simple sum of products form for a three variable, sum of product form for a three variable, I am considering the three variables as a b c. I am considering the three variables as a b c, and for three variables you'll be having 8 different combinations. For three variables you'll be having 8 different combinations. They are 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 and 1 1 1. So these are the three variable sum of products form. And if you observe, for this three variable sum of products form, the min terms happens to be all these a bar, b bar, c bar. So if 0 is there, that is nothing but a bar. If 1 is there, that is nothing but a. Okay. So this is the procedure of writing the min terms for a particular given function. Okay. So we will see the procedure of writing the sum of products form for a given function. So to derive a Boolean expression from the truth table which is in function with min terms, first you need to consider a truth table with three inputs as shown in this, and from this table the output is a function with the three inputs a comma b and c, that is f of a comma b comma c. You can write the function. Identify the product terms from each row in which the output is a 1. For example, I am considering, let us say, the output for this truth table. Let us say the output for this truth table is, let us say, 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0. Let us say this is the output function. So that what he is saying, in order to write the sum of products form, first you need to identify the product terms from each row in which the output is a 1. Okay. So and then after that the sum of these product terms is the desired Boolean expression. Okay. So let us remember this first. So for a three variable function, you can write the sum of products form by considering these pattern. So considering three variables a b c, corresponding min terms are a bar b bar c bar is the min term corresponding to 0 0 0, and that you are designating it with m naught. Similarly, a bar b bar c is the min term corresponding to 0 0 1, and you are designating it with m1. Similarly, a bar b c bar is the min term corresponding to 0 1 0, and you are designating that as m2. Similarly is the case with all the other min terms. Last combination 1 1 1 is the for 1 1 1 combination of inputs, the min term possible is a b c, which you are designating it with m7. Okay. So having known all these three variable min terms, you can able to go for an example, and then you can able to write the sum of product form. So the sum of these product terms is the desired Boolean expression. What do you mean by the sum of these product terms? That is nothing but sum of product terms. Sum of product terms. As the name itself tells, it is nothing but the sum of the different product terms for which the output is becoming 1. So 1 in input column implies true literal, 1 in input column implies true literal, and 0 in input column implies complemental literal. That means, what is the meaning of this? If you observe, 1 in input column implies true literal, that is C. Similarly, 1 in input column implies true literal, that is B. 1 in input column implies true literals B and C. And similarly, 0 in input column implies its complemented literal. So if A is 0, the corresponding minterm in the corresponding minterm you will be having A bar. Similarly, if A is 1, in the corresponding minterm it should be, the term should contain A, that is true literal. That is the meaning of this. 1 in input column implies true literal, and 0 in input column implies complemented literal. Now I am considering the example for the let us say I am considering 0 0 0, sorry, okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So I am considering, let us say, for the 3 onwards the output is 1, okay, and from 0 to 2 the output is 0, the output is 0. So 0 is nothing but, what is its combination? It's in terms of input variable 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 and 1 1 1. So these are the combinations. So for these input combinations you are getting the output like this, so that you can write the function f, you can write the function f as f is equal to, for which input combinations you are getting the output as 1, for which input combinations you are getting the output as 1. That means for all the last 5 combinations you are getting the output as 1. So the minterm corresponding to 0 1 1 is what? It will be A bar BC. 0 1 1 is A bar BC, 1 0 0 ABC, 1 0 0 A B bar C bar, 1 0 1 A B bar C, and 1 1 0 A B C bar, and for 1 1 1 it is A B C. So this is how you are defining, this is how you are defining f of A comma B comma C. So f of A comma B comma C is equal to, you can write as summation small m of, what is the minterm corresponding to 0 0 1? Will be m 0 1 to m3, it will be m3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. So this is the given function for which the expression will be f of f is equal to a bar bc plus a b bar c bar plus a b bar c plus a b c bar plus a b c. So this is how you are defining the function. That means for all these minterms m3 m4 m5 m6 m7, its corresponding output is 1. That is the meaning of this expression f of a comma b comma c is equal to summation small m of 3 4 5 6 7. That means for the minterms corresponding to m3 to m7, its output is equal to 1. That implies that the for other minterms the output is 0. For other minterms the output is 0. That means if you take the complement of that, that means for all these combinations the output will become 1. That means f means for all these combinations, f means for all these combinations the output is 1, and if you are considering f bar for remaining combinations, f bar will become 1. In this way you are defining the expression f is equal to a bar bc plus a b bar c bar plus a b bar c plus a b c bar plus a b c. And similarly you can write down the expression, you can note down the expression for f bar as a bar b bar c bar plus a bar b bar c plus a bar b c bar. So a bar b bar c bar stands for 0 0 0. So f bar is nothing but summation small m of 0 0 0 means m naught, 0 0 1 means m1, 0 1 0 means m2. So this is the function for f dash. F dash is equal to, similarly I can write down the function for f is equal to summation small m of 0 1 1 corresponds to m3 and 1 0 0 correspond to m4, 1 0 1 m5, 1 1 0 m6 and all ones m7. So this is how you are writing the functions. So f is equal to summation small m of 3 4 5 6 7, f dash is equal to summation small m of 0 1 2. So for f is equal to small m of summation small m of 3 4 5 6 7 means for these corresponding minterms of input variables, the function will become 1, the output will become 1. And f dash is equal to means summation small m of 0 1 2 means for these combinations m0 m1 m2, the corresponding output function, the inverse of output function will be becoming 1. Okay, so I am taking the example of this standard example, and I will be continuing this example even for product of sum, for writing the product of sums as well. Okay, for the time being, remember, so f is equal to summation small m of 3 4 5 6 7, f dash is equal to summation small m of 0 1 2. Next, therefore f in canonical form is can be written as f of a comma b comma c is equal to summation small m of 3 4 5 6 7, which are happens to be the minterms of the corresponding input variables. Okay, 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 and 1 1 1, and that you can write it as m3 plus m4 plus m5 plus m6 plus m7. m3 stands for a bar bc, that is 1 0 0, and m4 stands for a b bar c bar 1 0 0, 1 0 0, that is the m3 stands for a bar bc, which is 0 1 1. You can write it like this: m3 stands for a bar bc means m3 corresponding minterm will be what? 0 1 1. And similarly m4 means a b bar c bar, that means 1 0 0, and m5 means a b bar c bar, that is 1 0 1, and m6 means a b c bar, that is 1 1 0, and last m7 a b c means 1 1 1. Okay, so this is the writing the given function in the standard canonical form, that is sum of product form. You can simplify, you can start simplifying this canonical form, or minimize, you can realize, or you can minimize this expression with the help of De Morgan laws and basic Boolean laws, so that you can realize that minimized expression with the help of logic gates. And if you observe the inverse function f dash of a comma b comma c is equal to summation small m of 0 1 2, so that is equal to you can write it as m naught plus m1 plus m2. So m naught corresponds to a bar b bar c bar, which happens to be 0 0 0 plus okay, a bar b bar c stands for 0 0 1, and a bar b c bar stands for 0 1 0. So m naught corresponds to 0 0 0, m1 corresponds to 0 0 1, and m2 corresponds to 0 1 0. Okay, so this is how you can write the given function in the standard canonical form, that is sum of products form, both the function as well as its complemented function f and f bar, f of a comma b comma c, and also f dash of a comma b comma c. Okay, next we will see again the same function f of a comma b comma c summation small m of 3 4 5 6 7, that I am writing it in the form, the standard sum of product form like this. And if you are if you want to simplify this, okay, using Boolean laws, so from the first two terms, or I can say from the second and third terms, I can take common a b bar, so that the leftover term will be a b bar into c plus c bar, plus I am writing the first term as it is, that is a bar bc, and in the next two terms I can take common ab, so that ab into c bar plus c, so c bar plus c will become 1, the leftover term will be ab plus a bar bc plus ab. Okay, again in the first and last terms, I can take common A. Again in the first and last terms I can take common A, so that A into B bar plus B, which is again equal to 1. So I can write this as A plus A bar into A plus BC. Okay, so A plus A bar into A plus A bar is 1, so the leftover term will be A plus BC. So this is the minimized expression for the given standard canonical form. A bar BC plus A B bar C bar plus A B bar C plus A B C bar plus A B C will be reduced to A plus BC, is reduced to A plus BC. So this is the minimization of the given sum of product form, and hence you can realize this minimization with the help of simple logic gates. Okay, we will see the implementation of this function by using logic gates. Now the function is in minimal canonical form, okay, with less number of literals. Okay, so the derived minimal expression A plus BC can be realized with the help of AND OR realization. Why I am calling this as AND OR? Because the function you are having is A plus BC. Okay, so first you will be having AND stage, and then you will be having OR stage. Okay, for example, one more variable is there like this. Okay, so for if you want to realize this A plus BC plus CD, what you will be using? First you need to have A and then BC. For BC you will be using one AND gate, and for CD also you will be using another AND gate, and all these three terms should be ORed together. All these three terms should be ORed together. That's why this type of expressions can be realized with the help of AND OR realization. AND OR realization stands for the first stage consists of AND gates and the second stage consists of OR gates. That is the meaning of AND OR realization. Okay, so all the sum of products, all the SOP form, all the minimal SOP forms can be realized with the help of AND OR realization. Remember this, all the sum of products, minimal SOP forms can be realized with the help of AND OR realization. Okay, so this can be done like this. I am considering three variable A, B and C. So BC should be ANDed. That means first stage, the output of the first AND gate will be what? BC. The output of the first AND gate will be BC, and the inputs to the OR gate will be A and BC. So the output of OR gate will be A plus BC. So this is a simple realization of the given minimal SOP form. F is equal to A plus BC. And if you observe this AND OR realization, this AND OR realization is equivalent to NAND realization. Remember this, AND OR realization is equivalent to NAND realization. We will see how. Okay, so this can be realized with the help of NAND also. In the case of NAND, what do you mean by NAND? First stage is also NAND gates and second stage is also NAND gates. In the case of AND OR, first stage is AND gate and second stage is OR gate. In similar manner, in NAND realization, first and second stages happens to be all the NAND gates only. That is the difference. So if you observe AND gate realization, I am considering here the circuit like this. I am using only NAND gates now. Let us say this is first NAND gate and this is second NAND gate. So the output of first NAND gate will be what? It will be BC whole bar. Okay, so BC whole bar, and the output of second NAND gate will be A bar into BC whole bar and then whole bar. This is of the form A into B whole bar. It will be A bar plus B bar. That is nothing but A bar whole bar will be 1 plus BC whole bar and whole bar will give you only BC. So this is how, that's why I can say AND OR realization is equivalent to NAND realization. So any SOP form, any minimal sum of products form can be realized with the help of AND OR as well as NAND, because AND OR realization is equivalent to NAND realization. AND OR realization is equivalent to NAND realization. Remember this, any minimal sum of products form can be realized with the help of AND OR as well as NAND because AND OR realization is equivalent to NAND realization. Okay, so this is the procedure of realizing the minimal SOP form with the help of basic gates as well as universal gates like NAND gates. Next we will see the implementation of its inverse function. So inverse function is, for the earlier problem, inverse function is what? F dash is equal to summation m naught comma m1 comma m2, and where m naught is a bar b bar c bar, and m1 is a bar b bar c, and m2 is a bar b c bar. Again, if you were able to simplify this, what you will be getting in the first two terms, you will be getting a bar b bar as common. So if you are taking common a bar b bar as common, then the leftover term will be c bar plus c, which will become 1. And further, if you simplify, will be a bar b bar plus a bar b c bar, and again in this you can take a bar as common. So that what is the leftover term? A bar into b bar plus b c bar. So again this b bar plus b c bar, you can write it as b bar plus c bar. So the, if you expand this, the total minimal SOP form for its complemented function f bar is equal to a bar b bar plus a bar c bar. So this is the minimal SOP form for its complementing inverse function, for the inverse function. So f dash of a comma b comma c is equal to what? You will be getting a bar b bar plus a bar c bar. Again this can be implemented with the help of again AND OR realization as well as NAND realization, because this is sum of products. What we are discussing is sum of products only. So this is nothing but sum of product terms. What are the product? How many product terms are there? Two product terms. One is a bar b bar and the other one is a bar c bar. And these two products are ORed. That means plus. So again, if you consider AND OR realization, first stage you will be having two AND gates because you are having two product terms, and those two, the output of those two product terms will be ORed together. That's why in the second stage you are using one OR gate. So in the first stage you will be having two AND gates, and in second stage you will be having one OR gate. Okay, so that you can implement the minimal SOP form with the help of AND OR realization, and the same thing can be implemented with the help of NAND realization. Both are one and the same. Okay, so replacing AND gate with NAND gates, and even OR gate also with NAND gate, so that it will be functioning similar, in the similar manner as we did it for AND OR realization. So inputs are a bar b bar and a bar c bar, and the output of first, let us say the output of first NAND gate will be what? A bar b bar whole bar, and the output of second NAND gate will be a bar c bar whole bar, and the output of third NAND gate will be what? Will be a bar b bar whole bar into a bar c bar whole bar and then whole bar. So this is the output. So this is of the form a into b whole bar, it will be a bar plus b bar. So what is the leftover term? Will be a bar b bar plus a bar c bar again, because a bar b bar whole bar and then bar, these two bars will get cancelled and these two bars will get cancelled by using De Morgan laws, so that the leftover expression will be what? A bar b bar plus a bar c bar, which is equivalent to this: a bar b bar plus a bar c bar. Okay, so AND OR realization is equivalent to NAND realization, whether you are implementing normal f function f of a comma c, a comma b comma c, or f dash of a comma b comma c. So this is something about sum of products form, SOP form. Next we will concentrate on product of sums. Next we will concentrate on product of sums. In the sum of products, you are having different product terms and you are summing or ORing all those product terms, resulting in SOP form, that is sum of products. On contrary to that, you are having another type of canonical form, that is product of sum. That is product of sums. Now you will be having sum terms. Now you will be having sum terms, and you are ending all those sum terms, resulting in product of sum terms. Ending is nothing but product in the case of Boolean. in the case of Boolean algebra. Okay, so all those sum terms will be ANDed together, which will be giving to standard product of sum form. Standard product of sum form. So for example, if you are considering three variable POS, a product of sum form, so for three variables you will be having 8 max terms. Okay, so all the product of sum terms can be called as max terms, which are indicated with capital M, and if you remember, the min terms are indicated with small m's and max terms are indicated with capital M's. That is the difference between min terms and max terms representation. Okay, so again for the three variables you will be having 8 different combinations starting from all zeros to all ones, and corresponding to each and every input combination you can define one max term, so that for uh, three variables a b c you'll be getting 8 different combinations, so that you'll be having 8 different max terms starting from m0 to m7. So m0 term is defined as 0 a plus b plus c. So a plus b plus c is the corresponding max term m0 for the input combination 0 0 0. Okay, so it is dual of sum of products form. Some terms are shown as max terms, and a Boolean expression can be written as product of these sum terms. To derive a Boolean expression from the truth table which is in function with max terms, consider a truth table with 3 inputs as shown. The output is a function with the 3 inputs a comma b and c. So you need to identify the sum terms from each row in which the output is a 0. Earlier in the case of for writing standard sum of products form, you are considering identify the product terms from each row in which the output is 1. Now for writing product of sums, what you need to consider? You need to consider the sum terms or max terms from each row for which the output is 0 now. That is the difference between SOP form and product POS form. In the case of SOP form, you are considering the each row or product terms or min terms from each row in which the output is 1, whereas for product of sums you are considering the sum terms or max terms from each row in which the output is a 0. So the product of all these sum terms is the desired Boolean expression. So by considering all the sum terms from each row in which the output is 0, and the product of all these sum terms is the desired Boolean expression. So this is the table of max terms corresponding to the three variables a, b, c, so that you will be having 8 max terms m0 to m7. So a plus b plus c is the max term corresponding to 0 0 0, and which you are designating it as m0, capital M0, and a plus b plus c bar is the max term corresponding to 0 0 1 combination, and which is designated as capital M1. Likewise for m7, the max term will be a bar plus b bar plus c bar for the input combination 1 1 1. Okay, so in the similar manner that we did it for sum of products, in the same manner you are doing it for product of sum forms. Next we will see, so find truth table rows where f is 0 and 0 in input column implies true literal and 1 in input column implies complemented literal. What do you mean by this? 0 in input column implies true literal and 1 in input column implies complemented literal. If you observe the table corresponding to the three variable max terms, okay, so if you observe 0 in input column implies true literal and 1 in input column implies its complemented literal, which is opposite to the procedure that we have adopted for sum of products. In the case of product of sum, 0 in input column implies true literal and 1 in input column implies its complemented literal. Okay, so that is the difference between SOP form and POS form. So 1 in input column implies complemented literal, and if you observe, I am considering the same example that we have considered for explaining SOP form, sum of products. So in the case of product of sum, so f of a comma b comma c is equal to pi, that is multiplication. In the case of SOP form, I have used summation because sum of products you are considering. Here, product of sums. So what are the sums here? M of 0 comma 1 comma 2, for which the output is 0, for which the output is 0. For writing is product of some forms, you need to consider the function for which input combinations you are having the output as 0. Okay, so f of a comma b comma c is equal to product of capital M of 0 1 2. Okay, so capital M of m naught, it stands for a plus b plus c, and m1 stands for a plus b plus c bar, and m2 stands for a plus b bar plus c. So a plus b plus c stands for 0 0 0 input combination, a plus b plus c bar stands for 0 0 1, and a plus b bar plus c stands for 0 1 0, the corresponding input combinations, and its corresponding max terms, a plus b plus c into a plus b plus c bar into a plus b bar plus c, which are indicating in fact standard canonical POS form as f of a comma b comma c is equal to product of max terms 0 1 2. Max terms are nothing but sum terms, and you are doing the product of these sum terms m0, m1 and m2. That becomes the representation of the given truth table in the form of standard product of sum form, in the standard product of sum form. And in a similar manner you can also now whatever we have seen, the f of a comma b comma c is equal to product of capital M of 0 1 2, that can be realized with the help of OR and realization, which is opposite to the sum of products realization. For realizing the SOP form, you are considering you did it with AND OR realization, whereas for product of sum realization you need to consider OR and realization. You need to consider OR and realization. That is the difference. So if you consider the OR and realization same, since you are having three sum terms, sum terms, you need to consider three OR gates, 1 2 3 in the first stage, and all those three OR gates output should be ANDed with the help of three input AND gate. So that's why this realization is called as OR AND, because the first stage you are using OR gates, and in the second stage you are using AND gate. That's why this type of realization is called OR AND realization. So first stage will be OR and second stage will be AND realization. So this is the procedure of realizing the standard POS form with the help of basic gates, and that realization is called OR AND realization. So by using OR AND realization you can able to realize the product of sum form. Okay, next, see, we have seen OR AND realization, which is equivalent to NOR realization, NOR realization. As we have discussed for SOP form, AND OR realization is equivalent to NAND. In the similar manner, OR AND realization is equivalent to NOR realization. That means first stage is also NOR and second stage is also NOR. So for implementing this function, we need three NOR gates in the first stage and one NOR gate in the second stage. We will see the realization of this with the help of NOR realization. So this is how NOR realization will look like. So all the three terms ABC is one of the is one input, is one combination, ABC bar and AB bar C. All these three, all the inputs are given for the three input NOR gates in the first stage, and the output of these three NOR gates will be given as the fourth, will be given as input to the fourth NOR gate. So that's why this realization is called NOR realization. This realization is called NOR realization, which is equivalent to OR AND realization, Okay, so example of inverse function you can consider. The function you have written is written as f is equal to capital pi, product of capital M of 0 comma 1 comma 2. So if you observe, f dash will be this much, product of max terms capital M M3, M4, M5, M6 and M7. Inverse function you are considering. So corresponding inverse standard product of sum will be what? Its corresponding max terms. So max term corresponding to M3 will be 0, 1, 1 means it will be A plus B bar plus C bar, and 1, 0, 0 means A bar plus B plus C, and 1, 0, 1 means A bar plus B plus C bar, and 1, 1, 0 means A bar plus B bar plus C, and 1, 1, 1 means A bar plus B bar plus C bar. So this is the expression inverse function corresponding to the given function. So you can observe the frequently asked questions. Realize the inverse function using AND or NOR logic, and f dash of a comma b comma c is equal to product of max terms 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, next, write Boolean expressions of min terms, max terms in canonical form from the following table. So he has given some truth table. Based on this, you need to write the SOP form and POS form. Standard SOP form in the form of min terms, standard POS form that is in the form of max terms. So I can write f of a comma b comma c is equal to, if you are writing standard SOP form, sum of products form, for writing the expression in sum of products form, what you need to consider? You need to consider for which input rows you are getting the output as 1. You are getting the function f as 1. So for m1, m0, m1, m2, m3, m4, m5 and m7. So 1, 2, 5, 7. So this is the expression for standard canonical SOP form, summation small m of 1, 2, 5, 7. And you can also write the POS form pi capital M of. For writing the expression in standard product of sum form, what you need to consider? You need to consider for which input row you are getting the function as 0. That means for capital M0, M1, M2, M3, M4 and M6. So capital M of 0, 3, 4, 6. So these are the standard sum of products canonical SOP form and POS form for a given truth table. So depending upon which input combination you are getting the output as 1, based on that you will be writing standard canonical SOP form, and for which input combinations you are getting the output as 0, based on that you can able to write the standard POS form, product of sum form. In a similar manner, write Boolean expressions of min terms, max terms in canonical form from the following table. Again the same, he is considering 3 variables. Okay, so I can directly say f of a comma b comma c is equal to summation small m of m naught, summation small m of m naught, m1, m2, m3, m4, m4, m5 and m7. So these are the min terms. Summation small m of 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And similarly for writing product of sum, it will be pi capital M of what? M1 and M6. Pi capital M of 1 comma 6 will give you the standard canonical POS form. Okay. Write Boolean expression for the function f in SOP, and again same thing. So in the third problem, he has given 4 variables. Instead of considering 3 variables, now you can have 4 variables. So when you are considering 4 variables, how many different input combinations you'll be getting? It is equivalent to 2 to the power of 4, which is 16 combinations, starting from again all zeros to all ones. So for all these combinations, you need to check for which input combinations you are getting the output as 1, so that you can write the function in SOP form. And similarly, for which input combinations you are getting the output as 0, so that you can write it in standard POS form. The procedure will be same irrespective of the number of input variables. Implement with logic gates for the following expressions. Again, a plus b into c plus d. All these functions are there. So if you consider the first one, a plus b into c plus d, that you can realize with the help of OR and realization, because a plus b should be ORed and c plus d should be ORed. So the outputs of the first two gates will be what? A plus B, C plus D, and these two will be ANDed. Okay, so this is nothing but OR and realization. It's nothing but OR and realization. Okay, this is the for first one. Similarly, for the second one, you can go for AND OR realization. First, you need to consider AB and then CD, and the output of these two should be ORed together. Okay, so this is the first AND gate, second AND gate, this is the first OR gate. So this is AND OR realization. Okay, likewise you can also implement the other examples based on the inputs of this lecture. So summary, we discussed about writing the expressions of the function from the truth table using SOP form, POS form, and also realization of these SOP and POS forms with the help of basic gates, and also some realizations and OR and realizations. Next we move on to the quiz. The midterm designation for ABCD is what? Will be M15. M15 is the midterm designation for ABCD. Expression y is equal to pi capital M of 135 is in product of sum form, POS form, and the expression y is equal to AB plus CD plus EF is in SOP form, sum of products form. Next, the max term designation for A plus B plus C is M0. It is capital M0. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for listening.